Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Talkoffamepod podcast with your host, Kylie Montigney. I'm so happy it's finally summer and getting to enjoy some warm weather. I don't know about you, Shamar, but I'm so enjoying summer and getting to sleep in and everything. But other than summer, we have tons of interviews in which today we have Shamar Rice. Shamar is a dancer and actor who spent most of his childhood dancing with his family dance crew, the Baltimore Showstoppers, performing and battling other crews. Later in life, after he tore his meniscus, he discovered that he had love and passion for acting. Recovering from his injury, he spent most of his time developing his career in acting. Eventually, a few months later, after a lot of physical therapy, he continued pursuing his passion in the entertainment industry. And look for further. And Shamar, welcome to the podcast. It is lovely to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm super excited for you to come on and join. And first of all, does your whole family dance?
They did at a point in time, yes, besides my father and one of my brothers.
Ooh, how old were you when you first kind of started dancing? Give us kind of a deep dive and how when you started dancing and stuff.
I started dancing when I was 5 years old. It wasn't a career or anything. It was a hobby because I was young and didn't know anything about, the business side of dance or anything. So it was just fun for me. It was fun for my whole family, actually. So the group started in 2004, but I didn't know anything about it because I was that young, so they didn't put me around that. But I knew, that they were dancing, but I wasn't allowed,
Mm.
downstairs. We were practicing because I was young. But in 2005 it kind of kicked off for me because it was just one time where I did slip downstairs, when I wasn't supposed to. And, I was just dancing and my family loved it. And, I still couldn't really do anything. But my oldest brother, he literally was just pushing me to just dance, and he was the one that was just there. So that's kind of how I really got into it and started doing it with my family.
Wow, that's crazy. Especially at a young age, you started dancing. That's incredible because it was similar to me as well because my sister did dance growing up when I was a little kid. And then she literally convinced me for years to do dance. And then 3 years ago I started dancing and she it was I told you. But dance is my biggest factor in life. It's you whatever you're going through, you just turn on music on, blast it,
Yeah.
put on headphones, and start dancing whenever you want.
Oh, yes, of course. It's so therapeutic.
It definitely is. And with your group, your family group, did you guys perform in your area in Baltimore or did you perform around the country?
Okay, so we have not been around the country a lot in our area, in our city, of course, but I know we did travel out of town before, but I don't remember. And that was it was crazy because I think that that was my first show actually performing out of town. And like the dance groups, I found out they get in altercations.
Oh, really?
So yeah, for in competitions, I guess because one is better or something like that. I don't know, but it was my first time seeing that, and I'm just oh, okay. I am young, but I know fighting is and things like that. So I knew that dance would have this um type of environment,
Mhm.
growing up. I'm gonna see more of it. I mean, it's competitive, so I get it. I understand.
Yeah, with especially in the dance industry, the industry from my experience, I think you should think the same thing as well, but it's very competitive in what you're doing, no matter if it's you're part of a dance team, you're traveling all over the place. But I don't know if you watch Dance Moms, but it's you'll see if you watch Dance Moms, you'll know, but it's the teacher will basically yell at you for 24/7 and basically from that show it was so competitive and I'm when I watched that show I was I don't want to be part of that competitive industry it's just it's so competitive I'm why would I want to be part of a competitive industry but then it's dance who doesn't want to dance though is a question though.
Yeah, I mean, and see, people can dance, they can get into it. They don't have to do the competitive side. They could just
Yeah, they can do it outside of it. It's do it at a party or a get together.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, how did you kind of find like how did you kind of drive in your craft after you tore like your
Um,
meniscus or like however like you pronounce it?
oh, meniscus, yes. It was a long journey, because when I tore my meniscus, I got my surgery, um, 2 weeks after. Like it was quick, and but I had to get through a lot of like tests. I had to get an MRI. Well, I had to get an X-ray at the hospital. They couldn't do anything because it was the higher up. That had to the orthopedics. So in order to get to find out what really happened, I had to get a MRI, and it just scans more deeper, into your body than an X-ray. So I had to get that, but I had to wait. I had to wait more days, and I was in pain. And then I actually got the MRI and went to get it checked. And they told me, like, I told my meniscus, and that I would have to get surgery. So when that happened, I cried, obviously, because I'm a dancer, like it's something I love to do and I can't do it because, I hurt myself. And then, he told me the recovery process, it was gonna be about like basically a year,
Oh,
9 to 11 months, yeah, of recovery. So during that recovery time, um, I actually, um, I actually like started looking back into acting because before I tore my meniscus, acting was not like heavy on my mind, but I did do background work for locally in my city for a movie, and I loved it, but I didn't understand, like the directions to go in or the guidance. So it just popped back on my mind like during my recovery time. And from there, I think I was searching in like acting groups, and it was in Baltimore. So it was locally. And I was just seeing like so many people post like little gigs in Baltimore. And I actually like started hitting people up, and I hit up the right person, and they actually had a program for actors here in Baltimore for free where you get a scene, and he'll create it, and it's like other actors. And he created that for me, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, I met other actors, and we had a short film. So that's
ooh.
how I got in it. But that was like after like my recovery process, but during the whole 9 to 11 months thing, I was just researching and just gathering as much information as I could, so when I get back on my feet, because in my mind I wanted to actually to be able to move. I didn't want to limp or anything because I still could have got into it while I was, on crutches and things like that. But I didn't want to limp or nothing. I wanted to actually run. I had that on my mind. Like I wanted to be active in, acting. But yeah, so after that, we had shot it. And from there, I mean, it was just like the rest was history, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Like it's like I love how like you like even after that surgery, you just like kind of like didn't hold back no matter if it was hard. You know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, I know a lot of people want to slow down, but I do not want to slow down. I just want to go pursue my dream. Like I wanted to ask you, since you're both a dancer and actor, like would you consider going out and doing like a play or something on Broadway? Or doing like a local production, that type of thing?
Um, it's definitely on a bucket list. I'm not, the biggest fan of, stage because I grew into TV and film.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. But I'm not gonna never say never. I know that it's gonna happen, and I'm willing to, put in the work for that too. I love that I know how to dance, and I love that I know how to act because it's those specific opportunities. I could do stage, but I don't have the training in that, you
Oh yeah.
know. So that's just the only difference. Now, like I said, I'm willing to learn
Mhm.
when the opportunity arises, but For right now, I'm just focusing on, TV and film, but I will definitely expand, the vault in order to, do a Broadway play, you know what I'm saying? But they require sometimes singers, like everybody has to
Oh
be
yeah.
singers, and I'm not a singer, so that's the biggest thing. But I mean, I could be wrong. They don't always have to sing, but
Yeah.
I'll be ready when that opportunity arises.
Definitely. Like I can see you as like a Broadway type of person though, even though like you don't have like the training and that thing. Like even if, like a dancer and actor, like sometimes like with actors, you do not like there's not a lot of actors that can do both, like dancing and acting, or do something like a film that does like it does dancing and acting. I mean, not like La La Land, but it's like he's not singing, but it's like both singing and dancing at the same time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like after like you had that surgery, like did you ever like dance competitively or did like any dancing story after it, like after the surgery?
Like after I got the surgery
Yeah.
or like after the recovery?
Either one, both.
I for one, no, I didn't dance competitively after the surgery. But I will say, and this is still to, after the surgery. So I didn't dance competitively after the surgery, but I want to say about like 9 months in, I think when I hit like my 9 month mark, or 10 months, I started to dance again, but it was in my home. It
Mm.
was just, I felt myself getting like better. I think I was probably at like 70%. And I was able to still do some dance moves, and around this time, I still like I don't think I had my brace on anymore. Yeah, I don't think I had my brace on anymore. So it was just, you know, um like a bandage wrap,
Yeah.
but I could still dance, and I just wanted to work my leg, I wanted to work my knee that I tore. And it was hard, it hurt, but not bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then after, I want to say when I hit that year mark, like next year, like say it was this year, and it was I guess November. That's when I started trying to dance. And then like the next year in March, oh, I was on fire. Like I was doing dance videos. I wasn't competitively dancing yet, but I did set a goal, to start, getting into that world again. March, April, May. I gave myself into May. And in May, I started dancing competitively again, but it wasn't hard. I wasn't pushing myself because I couldn't go to my fullest potential, but I was happy I did it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like to like see yourself, a year before like getting surgery, then next year you dancing, penny, doing what you love. Like not a
Mhm.
lot of people will actually do that after they have surgery. It's like a lot of people just lose the motivation in doing that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. I did lose the motivation because for one, the doctor told me that I was not gonna be able to dance the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I proved them wrong,
Yeah.
but I can do certain things. My body will allow me to do certain things, and my body won't allow me to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's, but the doctors were kind of right. But I mean, for me to have my same energy before I got my surgery, like, and having it afterwards, I like that's all I need. I don't need to dance the same or whatever, as long as I got my energy from when I dance. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, that's all that matters. As long as you have the same love and energy to put that work in every day,
Yeah.
that's like it doesn't matter how good you are or how much you change. It's really about like what you think and how your heart is.
Yeah, for sure. That journey, it really truly like it like de depressed me. It hurt me mentally because I was on, pills, for that, for my knee, and I had to get off of them because it was making me hallucinate. It was making me have sleep paralysis, and I didn't like it. I just felt like in the clouds, and I felt like it was messing with my judgment. So I got off of them and I just started, winging it, on my own and just like going through the pain.
And like after like your brother got incarcerated, like how did it kind of like affect you personally, like in your work?
It affected me badly, and not to take away from me, but it affected my whole family. And we all stopped dancing. Like the group completely just stopped. We stopped everything. But for me, it really hurt me because, like I told you, my brother got me into this,
Yeah.
So our bond was so strong, like no other, back when I was a kid. And he was basically my, like my mentor, like my inspiration. Like I looked at him like, oh my God, So for that to happen, it just like completely like shattered like everything. Like where I just started thinking like, wow, am I even gonna dance like again? Am I even gonna feel like, am I gonna have the motivation? I don't know. Like I can't do this without him.
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah,
Because like with that one person, like I know your brother really like convinced you to do dancing and to see that one person that you looked up to, like because like of course, like when like your siblings is one of the people that you look up to the most besides your parents and stuff.
yeah,
And like to see like the person that made you start doing what you're doing at the moment fall down, it just makes you fall down with it too. Because if my brother or any of my siblings go through that, I'm like, I'm going down too with them. I don't care what anyone says, I'm going down too.
yeah. And sure enough, I did go down. Like the whole family went down, and you know, um, we stopped for years. We didn't even. I think we got back right 2 years later. When he came home, but it wasn't the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. Like after that experience, like it just like changes like your perspective on dancing, the way like you do things.
Facts. And it was fun for me. It wasn't, like I said, a career. So like just me, getting my joy took from me because they took him. It's just, okay, you're back home, but it's not the same. The dance group is done.
Yeah.
It's just no bringing it back because everybody, got old and well, like rusty. They
Yeah.
haven't done it anymore. So it was no bringing it back.
Definitely. And like, how did a guy from the Baltimore Dance Club kind of lead you to dancing with a group in the area?
Oh, um,
Because I know a guy like you saw a guy spotted you or something. He like put like, you auditioned right for a group.
yes, I tried out for a group. That's gonna be okay. So I was in high school, I was a freshman, and this is like literally the moment I seen that I like wanted to get back into dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It made me feel like how I felt when my brother wanted me to get into dance, and it was the same genre. So I was in high school. My high school had talent show Fridays, and this guy, he danced to the type of music that I grew up listening to. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a new student. I don't have nobody to talk to this about, talk about this. So I'm just amazed, and I just went up to him, like the guy after he finished dancing, and I connected with him, and I'm just like, hey, like I'm a dancer, like I used to dance like, this style, back in the day. I'm looking to get into it, like, can you like help me? And he just said yes, and he told me he was gonna send me this other guy that's in his dance group because he was gonna help me get in touch with the actual person who run it. He got me in touch, and then we scheduled, like they had a practice. I went to the practice. I was nervous, and when I went into the practice, it was so many people. I think it was probably like 12 people in there, and it was a little space. So think about that. It was 12 people in this little space that they practiced in, and I introduced myself, and I was nervous. And I don't think the first time I had to try out, it was just them getting to know me and feel me if they wanted me, around. So the next time I had to try out, and when you try out for a dance group, you get sanctioned, at least, in, this type of genre. And get sanctioned means I have to battle one, two, three, four, however many people there. I have to battle all of them. No matter if I lose my breath or anything, like that's just testing you to see if you got what it really takes. Because if you want to be in a group, we battle, competitively. So we're gonna have to battle other people too. You're gonna be losing your breath. We want to see if you can handle it. We don't want, no mess ups or anything. So I had to battle all of them, and I had fun. Like I really had fun, and I was tired, but I think just my fun, like me having fun and my energy, it just like it came, it
Yeah.
just like came out of me because I didn't feel like that, since, when my brother got incarcerated. So it felt so lovely, and I made the group, and that was that.
It was just like that one moment that kind of made you happy and proud to be a dancer again.
Yes, my smile was huge. Like every time I dance, well, I don't really do it no more, but I smile because, it's my happy place. But I don't do that no more. But around that time, I was all smiles. So I'm just happy it showed.
Like what type of music like do you like to dance to in terms of like battles and everything?
Oh, it's definitely my style of music. It's called Baltimore club music.
Mm.
But over the years, and I'm just really getting into it like serious this year. I love hip hop music. I like
Oh,
all genre music, like pop. I'm starting to get into contemporary music, because I dance slow, with any song, but it's just something about like different music. I'm gonna call it all styles music, hip hop music, pop music, rock music, because when you're dancing nationally, they're not gonna give me my type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna give me something that plays internationally. Nicki Minaj, Ray Shrimmer, Khalid, Coi Ray, like it's so many artists that they can play, and I don't know these songs. So it's important as a dancer, and I'm learning that to know a lot of songs because it's not just gonna be in my realm, it's gonna be in other realms too. And
yeah.
as a dancer, you gotta wear different hats in different genres. So it's very important.
100%. Like throughout your journey, like what do you want people to know in terms of like your journey or advice? Like what would you say if someone asks you?
I would just say keep going. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's not. You literally have to keep going. And how do you keep going? You have to have faith, especially in God. You have to believe in yourself. And I know that sounds cliche again, as far as believing in yourself, but me growing up, I always looked for somebody else to believe in me, somebody else to support me. And of course, we all want that support, and believe, but if we don't believe in ourselves first, like how we expect somebody else to. You feel me? Like that's very big. You have to love whatever you're doing in whatever field. If you don't love it, it's just a hobby. I'm gonna say that again. If you do not love it, it is just a hobby for you. If you're not taking it serious, that's fine. That's just a hobby. But if you really want a career out of something, you need to love it because it's going to mentally drain you if you try to make a career out of it and you don't love it. Like you have to. And yes, that's really, all I have to say as far as that, because
Mhm.
that really goes a long way.
It really does because like if you don't believe in yourself, then who's gonna believe in you? Like, first of all, because like the only person to believe in you is yourself. That's the most important thing. If you don't believe in yourself, then who will believe in you?
Hmm. Yeah. And God, He's always number one. If you don't believe in yourself in that moment, talk to him because he will get you together. It would feel great. Just listen to some music, pray about it, do some yoga, just say some affirmations. I'm beautiful. I'm loved. I believe in myself. I have a support system that I don't even know about yet, but I will meet them. Like it's certain things that you can say that can bring alignment to yourself and bring you happiness.
Exactly. And like, what is like one thing you learned from your experiences so far?
With dancing, I've learned to not really take everything personal. I mean, just like acting, it is a business. I carry myself as a brand. with dancing and acting. Since I became very professional in acting, I carry my dance brand with my acting brand, so it's together. So definitely professionalism, and just listening, researching, um, keep studying, because always be a student of the game is never not enough information. There's enough information out there for you to literally be successful in any field.
Exactly. Like I don't know what else to say to that one. That's like I don't know what to say there. But like how has like your identity as a gay man formed your work as an actor and dancer?
Um, so hmm, it's it's kind of like a long story. I'm gonna try to not make it long, but I was always like, confused of my sexuality, and growing up, people obviously knew that, but I did not have the voice to actually speak and say anything because of, like I was afraid what my family would think and etc. But I came out in 2021, I believe. I had so much support from strangers, all of my friends. I did not have that support from my family. Um, Specifically my mother and father. And my brother wasn't really acceptance of it, but he loved me, and he accepted it in the long run. So now it has formed me to be, just open and strategic and clear, about what I do and how I do it. And I'm glad that I'm open now. I'm glad that I could love myself for who I am without looking for any validation from anybody. I'm glad I have people that can guide me, within my dancing career and acting career as a gay male because, it's hard for us out here, not even just the males, but, LGBTQ, period, in any field, but specifically acting and dancing. Like, come on, it's hard.
Yeah.
People will put you in a box just because of your sexuality, and it's so not cool. I want people to love the LGBTQ community. You don't have to speak to them, just support it, because we are people too. And
Yeah.
we have feelings, and it's okay to just, let it out, So I'm just glad that I have the people in my life now that support me in my sexuality and the decisions that I make.
100%. Because like no matter what your sexuality is, like people shouldn't treat you or see it differently based on the way you are. Because like the way you are just like makes you unique no matter what, no matter your skin tone, your sexuality, etc. Like you are still human, you still have feelings, and like you do not need to talk to them. Just like be supportive. Be like like you may never know how much support they're getting. Like you said, like your brother kind of didn't really understand it. And so like you like if like you may know like how much support you're getting, but if you tell people like let's just say on social media, like you tell your closest friends that you're gay and just your experience, and it's just like if like to get like their support, let's just say, well like what no matter how big it is, like it would just mean a lot to at least get someone support in how you feel and what how you are.
Yeah, and it's family, so it was hard to, say something, but I don't know. I just thought that it would be okay, because I felt like it was a safe space, just 50% to say something, but I didn't want my family to find out on their own. I wanted to say something and to get that type of backlash from them. And I didn't say what the backlash was. I'm not, but it wasn't good. But it's just shaping me into the man that I am today. And as a Black gay man, it's hard out
Mm.
here, especially in the acting industry, especially dance wise. Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like even if like, no matter what your skin tone is, like everyone goes through something entertainment wise. Like no matter if you're black, white, like no one's different based off their skin tone. Like everyone's treated the same no matter what. Like I'm not going like people shouldn't see people differently based off of what they look like and what their image is. Because everyone's unique in their own way and everyone is amazing. No matter if you feel like you're not. Like everyone is.
Yes, I love that you said everyone is unique in their own way. I said that twice before by lifetime. I stand on that.
Me and you both. And like, what actors and actresses would you like to work with in the future?
Ooh, Viola Davis. Um, okay, Viola Davis, Zendaya Coleman.
Oh,
I would have loved to work with Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Rest his beautiful soul. I want to work with Denzel Washington. I want to work with Ben Affleck. It's a lot of them,
oh,
but A-list actors. So a B-list actor, I do want to work with him. His name is and what is his name? Wow, I forgot his name that quick. But he played on BMF. Um, wow, it hurts my soul that I forgot his name. Um, yes, but yes, just know I want to work with B-list actors as well. I don't just want to work with A-list actors, but my number one is Viola Davis.
Like Viola Davis is amazing. Like, if you ask me to work with one person, I'll give you like 20 names. I can't just pick one person because like
Yeah.
there's literally so many that you're just like I'm dying to work with. You just can't be just one person.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And like you recently got to be part of HBO Max's Perry Mason, in which you're the boy with Converse. Like I wanted to ask, like, what is a boy with Converse and Mason?
So it's a role. Obviously, so Boy with Converse, that was the name, of the character. Um, and it was on HBO Max, and I had a privilege and honor to play him. And he was, really a regular kid, well, regular teen in town that got mistaken for somebody else. And he got yoked up just over some shoes. So the story is really important. That's why it's called That's why my name was Boy with Converse, because it wasn't really focused on me. It was focused on a Converse, the
Yeah.
boy with the Converse. So yeah.
That's terrific. Like, especially the Converse today. Like, Converse is such a big thing, especially me. Like, I own like two of them. They're just amazing. Like, Converse, like, once I saw it, I'm like, Converse, terrific. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I want to thank you so much for coming on and taking the time. I know it's been a little crazy around here a little bit, but like, I wish you the best of everything. And I like, if you need help or anything, feel free to reach out. And if you want to do like a dance thing soon, feel free to call me. Then let me know. I'll be happy to. But like, thank you so much for coming on, Shamar. And I really appreciate you for coming on. And then thank you everyone for listening. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of Talk of Fame. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And thank you, Shamar, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kylie. I really appreciate you for having me, and everybody else have a blessed and amazing week.
You too as well. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you.